Do you know the reasons that we get stuck in lives that don't serve us, that we can't manifest what we want or connect with our love, are not negative, or at least not negative from the first glance? And it's really important to learn to recognize the wolf in sheep's clothing, so to speak, if we truly want to keep progress. And there are namely two sort of these positive failure modes that I want to talk about. One thing is to admit to ourselves, to be honest with ourselves, that there's a part of us that wants the lack, that wants the separation. And you might say, Anya, how can you say that? I don't want the suffering. I don't want the lack. I don't want the challenge. So long as we continue pushing away the part of us that actually chooses and wants what continues repeating in our life, we're not going to be able to transcend it. Sometimes it's scary to look at a part of us that wants the bad thing or includes the bad thing in its recipe of what it imagines will lead you to your healing or to your wholeness. You might actually be afraid that if you admit to yourself that on some level, right, there's some part of you that chooses this, that you will be stuck forever. But that is not true. Opening our mind up to all parts of us allows us to question that conditioning, to look past that conditioning, dissolve it, and get to the actual true self that wants just what you want. And it does not have to create a complicated schema to get there. Why do we create complicated schemas? Is because our conditioned self that we identify with, that was hurt in the past, wants the good thing too, but it wants on the way to slay the old dragon, that thing that scared you, that thing that took away your peace. It wants to deal with it forever so it doesn't have to be worried about it. But in this case, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Why is that? Because the part of you that identifies with the fear needs to dissolve. It cannot be resolved, it has to be dissolved. And that is why you cannot obey its commands and intentions for how it wants to do things. You just have to see past it, see that it's just a thought based idea of who you are, release it, and start living from a different place. And then the next thing that keeps people stuck is that the identity that they have formed, living from that scared, conditioned place, has actually gotten really good at managing the world that supports its limitation. Your natural talents, your natural abilities, your natural genius was applied over and over again and got masterful at managing the problematic reality. Now that conditioned self has strong, strong legs, look at how good I've gotten at saving people. Look at how good I've gotten at reading people and deciphering every, mood they're in. Look at how good I've gotten to be a sleuth, figuring, some problem that scares me out. This is exactly what is in the way of you dissolving the programming that is sitting inside there that you mistake for the reality of who you are, that is responsible for you repeating the same pattern over and over again. Because your ego says, if you let go of me, you will let go of what you've gotten good, maybe even recognized or needed by other people in the world. The conditioned self is going to put up a fight for you not to give up your own attachment to it, to stop being in service of that old fearful self, because you will lose everything that you've built up. Like a country, I often use this example, that has built up a huge military complex. If you propose to that country a reality of absolute peace, it may have a problem. Another problem you will encounter is people out there who have gotten used to you performing from that place, being really excellent from that place. But your job now that you're ready to release all of the old stuff and live from a place that isn't defined by the fear, live from oneness, create life in alignment with your true and authentic self, is to allow for the temporary collapse of the old paradigm, which will drag down all of the good stuff with it for a moment, but then trust that, like the phoenix, right, Everything that is real and good is going to rise from the ashes. All of your skills are going to be repurposed when they begin serving your true and authentic energy, your true and authentic self.